This is my wife, Andrea, and as long as I've known her, she's had this knack for taking old, outdated things and turning them into something beautiful. So after seeing this about 1,000 times, I took it upon myself to make her a channel because she wouldn't do it herself. And so now I'm super excited to share with you the creative adventures of my DIY wife. Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Dean and Andrea, and we recently flipped a bathroom, and in that bathroom, Andrea built a custom vanity that was just out of this world.
I have been planning this bathroom for literally months, probably more than a year.
So long.
And the vanity is one part that I kept getting hung up on. And originally I was like, I don't want to build something. I'm just gonna find something pre-made. But as I looked around, it was so hard to find something that one, fit. And then if I found something that was kind of within the measurements that I needed, it was so expensive and it still wasn't quite the right size. So then I thought, I refinish furniture all the time. I should just use a piece of furniture, which we've actually done in another bathroom, and I love the look. And I couldn't find anything. I have several pieces that I actually still have that we got it here, we put it up there, and I was like, it's just not working. And so I finally was like, you know what? I'm just gonna build it.
So we actually filmed this entire process, and we are so excited to show you how Andrea built this beautiful custom vanity.
With any build, I always start out by making a rough sketch of my idea. Once I have that nailed down, then I figure out all of the measurements. Now, I'm showing you all of my measurements for an example, but of course you can make this any dimensions you want, as long as you know the basic rules to follow.
But before Andrea got started on this project, we had a bit of Christmas in July.
I've been wanting to upgrade my miter saw for quite some time, and this vanity build seemed like the perfect time to do it. Gotta hide the starter from the kids.
And it was a thing of beauty.
Dang! One of my favorite features of this miter saw is its ability to make these 70-degree cuts, which comes in really handy for all those bases I build. That's crazy.
So after Andrea was done admiring her new miter saw, she was ready to get this vanity build underway.
To get started, I went ahead and cut all of my vanity legs to height, and for this one I went with 33 inches so that with the countertop it would be just over 34 inches tall. And for the legs on this piece, I used 2x2 red oak boards. Next, I cut down 1x2 boards for the horizontal pieces of the front and the sides. Since I knew what I wanted my overall width to be, I simply subtracted 3 inches to account for each 1.5 inch leg board on the sides. Since I knew how deep I wanted the vanity to be, I went ahead and had them rip down the panel for the side of the vanity while at Home Depot so I could easily fit it into our minivan. I used 3/4 inch redwood plywood for the side panels as well as all of the drawer fronts. Next, I cut the angles on the bottom of the legs. And this is not technically the correct way to do this, but I used a little block to space it and a clamp to clamp it down because I ended up wanting slightly more than the 70 degrees that this saw gives. I went ahead and started laying out pieces where they will go, but I did want to cut everything before assembling just in case I was slightly off in some of my cuts. I used my rip cut guide with my circular saw to rip down the fronts for the drawers. If you don't have these tools, you could totally have them rip down these pieces for you at Lowe's or Home Depot. Normally you want about 1/8 of an inch opening all around your drawer front, so I knew that if my opening was going to be 6 inches tall, I would just subtract 1/8 for the top and the bottom, or subtract 1/4 of an inch, meaning I would rip my board down to 5 3/4. The same goes for the length of the board, so if my opening was going to be 43 inches, I would simply subtract 1/4 of an inch to get the width that I needed for my drawer front. I went ahead and laid all my pieces out just to make sure nothing looked way off or something. I made pocket holes on both ends of all of the horizontal boards of my face frame. It's helpful to measure and mark on your legs so that you can make sure you're attaching those horizontal pieces exactly where they need to go. We didn't show this for every step, but you definitely want to use a good wood glue on all of these joints as well. I waited to cut the height of these side panels until I had finished assembling the face frame just so I could make sure I was getting that measurement exact. My saw couldn't quite cut through all of this wide piece, and so I cut as far as I could and then flipped it over, lined it up, and finished the rest. I again used pocket holes on all the sides of this side panel that I will use to attach to the leg, and then the little 1x2 boards that go on top and bottom. It's helpful if you stop and sand a lot of your pieces before you fully assemble it because it's hard to reach some of those corners when it is all together. Next, I started attaching the face frame to the side panels, and for this part it is definitely helpful to have an extra set of hands as well as a few large clamps. You can see here that my left side panel is a little bit different than the one on the right, and that is simply because this is going in a corner, it won't be seen, and so I didn't waste the 1x2 boards on that side. I cut some scrap pieces of plywood for bracing on the back and left most of it open for easy access to the plumbing. Now, I know building drawers can feel super intimidating, but as long as you follow a few basic rules, you'll see that it's actually not that complicated. Now, I am building inset drawers, which simply means that my drawer fronts are flush with my face frame, so of course the rules are going to change a little bit if you're doing a different style. The drawer slides that I'm using need a 1/2 inch gap on each side, so I simply made my drawer boxes 1 inch less than the opening of my face frame. I make my drawer boxes with pocket holes on the back and on the front so that it's not visible whenever you open your drawers. I normally would prefer to use my router for this, but I could not get my bit off of there, and so I borrowed a table saw from a friend. I lowered the blade and we made a couple of passes to make a wide enough slit for that 1/4 inch plywood to slide into. There are several ways you can choose to make the bottom of your drawers, but I went with 1/4 inch plywood that I slid into little dados made with a table saw. If this seems too complicated, you can totally use that same 3/4 or 1/2 inch plywood and pocket holes for the bottom. It's just going to use up a little bit more of your drawer space. I'll go ahead and add that the one joint I don't use wood glue on is the back of these drawers, just in case the bottom gets damaged. Then I can easily unscrew it, pull out the bottom, and replace it in the future if needed. To make room for the sink and plumbing, I did not add a drawer on this top section, and so I'm simply using scrap wood so that I can attach that fake drawer front. And I know you can see the light coming through that crack, but I promise once there's a countertop and there is no light shining through the back, you do not see that gap at all. Next, I started working on attaching the drawer slides, and I'm not honestly sure what I was thinking because normally I would turn my piece on the side so I have the help of gravity to hold them in place, but I decided to leave my piece standing up and attach them that way, and that worked just fine too. The main thing to remember here is that you want your slide to be level and you want them in the same place on both sides. Since I am doing inset drawers, I scooted the drawer slide back 3/4 of an inch from the front of the face frame to account for the front of the drawer whenever it's all attached. And that should make more sense as you see me attaching the fronts of these drawers. For cost's sake, I use 3/4 inch plywood for all of my drawer boxes, my drawer fronts, my side panels, and so I use 3/4 inch red oak iron-on edge banding to cover up all of those exposed plywood edges. I tested out some stain options on a piece of scrap wood, and then I ended up deciding to layer 2 different colors. I used General Finishes gel stain, first in the color Colonial Maple, and when that was dry, I came back with a coat of Antique Walnut. All wood is going to take stain differently, so it's always a good idea to test out some on a scrap piece to make sure you're really getting the color that you want. We didn't get this part on video, but I definitely wanted a good top coat on this one since it's going in a kid's bathroom, so I did several coats of Minwax's wipe-on polyurethane in a satin finish.
After the piece fully dried, we hired a team of chipmunks to install it.
I used some small pieces of tape to eyeball where I wanted the hardware and just to make sure I liked the spacing. It's also worth noting that once we had this in place, I did add a few screws to the back and to the side to secure it to the wall.
Once Andrea's work on the vanity was finished, we brought in a second team of chipmunks to install the countertop. And with everything installed and ready to go, it was time for Andrea to put the final touches on this vanity and then do the reveal. This thing is just out of this world. It's got to be one of your most beautiful builds to date. It looks so professional. I really think it looks like it came out of a magazine. I'm just so proud of you, babe. I'm so proud.
Yeah, I think probably my favorite comment I've gotten this whole time was, where did you buy the vanity? Because I was like, it doesn't look homemade. I feel like that's my goal when I'm like either remodeling a space or building a piece of furniture, is I don't want it to look like a DIY project.
So now let's talk about the numbers on this piece. How much did it actually cost you to build this custom vanity?
So the total for this vanity with all of the wood, the hardware, the stain, the top coat came out to be just under $200, which is insane. Like if you've shopped around at all. And so I am like so happy. We saved literally thousands of dollars building this ourselves.
So that's why I call her the DIY wife. And that's all for this video. And we just want to say right here that if you haven't seen that full bathroom makeover, definitely go check out that video. It's one of the funnest, most extreme and crazy videos that we've ever done. And I think her job on this bathroom is just out of this world. So stick around for more furniture flips, more DIY projects, and in a few weeks, another full bathroom renovation.
It's a really good one.
Hair and makeup.
I spit in your hair. How do you get these pieces?
Can you spit in my hair?
That's good enough.
I guess so. We don't have to pick up kids from school in 15 minutes.
We don't have 15 minutes, baby. We have 10 minutes.
Oh, 10 minutes? All right, here we go.
We're going to be talking really fast because we don't have very much time.
Because we gotta go pick up the kids in approximately 2.5 minutes. Today we are diving into a custom vanity build that Angie could be doing. So we actually
Oh, I wasn't even smiling. Sorry.
You gotta be smiling.
Tell me.
If you always smile, then you're always ready. That's how I do it.
Here we go. I'm ready.
I know, I just want to make sure you're ready.
I am.
Here we go.
Sorry, you keep saying. You can't not say here we go. And so now it's making me laugh. Don't say it because I'm gonna bust out laughing.
Alright, here we go. How am I supposed to let you know that? I'm about to go.
I'm ready. I'm smiling, okay?
We're gonna have huge smiles on this part.
Okay, we gotta go. We gotta go get the kids.
So we actually captured this entire process.
Sorry, dang it. You didn't say here we go on that one, did I?
I know, I said all right.
I started thinking when you said, what do I say? And I was gonna say, here we go.
So we actually filmed this entire process and we are so excited to share with you.
I was barely holding it together.
Take 99. Here we go.
It's okay. Here we go.
We're so excited to show you how Andrea built this beautiful custom vanity.
Stop time.
Take 173 was the magic one.
Well, let's go.
All right.
All right, let's go.
Here we go.
Here we go. So the total for this piece with all of the wood, the knobs, the stain came out to be just under $1,000. I'm just kidding. I can't actually tell jokes because I start laughing so hard.
Like halfway
the
through, and then you're like, wait, what? I didn't even hear what you said.
I can't even get it out. I'm like,
and I'm like, what?
I think it runs in my family. My mom's like that too.
What are you saying?